Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is O'Neil Catnell. I'm out of Jacksonville, Florida. I want to welcome you to our team training call tonight, especially on this Sunday night, January 27th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, we do these team calls to equip, to train, motivate, share testimonials, and make sure everyone is equipped to be successful with what I believe is the most significant cause-driven opportunity available in the United States right now, being partnered with Synergy Worldwide. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here on this Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen. We have people from all over the Caribbean, all over the United States, and just want to thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule to be equipped, to be empowered, and to develop the confidence and competence to really capture the market share that is available to you with this wonderful opportunity and being a part of the Legacy team. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to thank you again because, commitment is a powerful word. Commitment means that you're going to do what you say you're going to do long after the emotion of when you made the decision to take action has fallen off. And commitment is so important, and you guys showing up every night to be equipped and to develop your skills and also build, learn more information and so forth to build this business shows that your level of commitment is extremely high. But also success, one of the most important steps of success is showing up. 80% of success is guaranteed when you do show up, and showing up is important. So tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about a little bit of etiquette. We're going to talk about proper three-way call procedures. Some of the skills that is important to develop to become that professional, and also to increase your effectiveness in acquiring new business partners and also new customers with Synergy Worldwide. Okay, because these are the skills that is going to help you. But also, one of the key aspects of learning these skills is to also be able to learn it, to teach it to others. Because once you start teaching it to your business partners and teach them how to teach it, what will happen is you have a dynamic, self-propelling organization and a business that is growing itself. And that's the aim and the goal for each and every one of us, to have a business that will start growing long after you have did the initial start. Okay, so that's why some of these skills are so important, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just want to reiterate with you guys, for those who haven't logged on to their web office, please do so. There's very important information on the web office. Okay, when you log in under Synergy Worldwide into your own private web office, there's tremendous resources available to you. What I'm going to ask each and everyone that's on this phone call, I'm going to give you homework tonight. It is very, very important that each one of you log on tonight, okay? And at the top of the page, once you log in, you're going to see your dashboard, and at the top, you're going to see resources. I want you to go into the resource section and go under business presentation. You're going to see fast start training. I want everyone to download the fast start training on the Synergy Advantage, Synergy Compensate, 7 ways to get paid, and the products. Those PowerPoints are powerful tools to help you build this business and capture the market share that is available to you. So you do not necessarily have to wait on someone or a webinar like myself, okay, or a presentation to share it with others. And also to equip yourself, to tool yourself, so you can get more familiar and with the message of the company and the narrative that we utilize to share and convey the information of this opportunity, products, and so forth. So again, I want to reiterate, for everyone that's on the call, you have homework. Go to synergyworldwide.com, log in, go to the resources section on the United States. You're going to see where it says business presentations. Okay, you're going to see fast start training. Download number 1, number 4, and number 7. Okay, those are very, very important tools, as you guys are part of the core forefront of people who are pioneering and sharing this opportunity and going after the market share. These tools are going to be powerful for you. Now, what I would recommend for those who have the ability to, or the resources, if you have a laptop that's fine. You can, put it on your tablet. But also, if you have color printer, you can print it out and put it in what we call a flip book. So you'll have it with you so you can share with others the powerful opportunity of Synergy Worldwide, the advantage through the Fast Start training PowerPoints, ladies and gentlemen. It is very powerful. Mark my words, there's a reason why I'm requesting for each and every one to download that. Secondly, we have product offerings. We're coming up on the final couple of days of the month. It is so important for us to understand that we have a business that it goes on a monthly cycle of growth, of productivity, and earnings. Okay, at the end of the month, all the tally of sales and volume of business that is acquired through customers and members are tallied up. So we still have a lot of days in the month to go. We have until Thursday to acquire new customers, new team members, to achieve, ranks in the company and so forth. Always push forward, ladies and gentlemen. It is so important to always be trying. It's always getting there, because what that does is you're always perpetuating activity that leads to income. So there are a couple of products there, specials that are being run, like the Legacy Pack, the extended, Purify Pack. There are a couple of packs there that you can take advantage of, and people are going to receive benefits, especially in this season that we're in the new year. The first 3 months of the new year is very, very powerful, because that's where people are so focused on health. And we have some of the highest quality products that people are going to notice and feel in their bodies if we just, convey the information, put it in front of them, and then let them experience. You're going to notice benefit. And for that, you will get rewarded with compensation. So, remember, those packages are there. Okay. In your local area, a couple of people have called me, and we have appointments that we're going to go through training, one-on-one 3-way calls with myself, and also training on how to set up different, Facebook pages and so forth. That is so important, because what that means is people are now seeing the importance of staying connected with the success line, and also taking the steps that are necessary for your own personal growth and development, which is so important. I highly recommend that more and more people continue to do that. It's not a one-time thing. It's something that we have to do consistently, staying connected. Because remember, we talked about environment, that you are a product of your environment. Okay? And if you desire to grow and to transcend yourself, you have to put yourself in the environment that is conducive for the results that you desire, which is growth, which is income, and so forth. Working with people who are going on the same road, who have accomplished what you want, and is here to help you and equip you, and take yourself out of an environment of others that are not looking to do the same thing. So that's why it's so important to stay connected with your success line, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very powerful. So kudos to those who have called me and start that process. Let's make it a consistent activity where it's, from moving from, weekly to a daily activity, where now you will see the results of that. Okay. So that is so important for us to keep doing, ladies and gentlemen. And also staying connected with your other success line, not just myself. Okay. There are many others that are on the phone that are capable, such as this past Tuesday call was fantastically done by Mr. Stan Jordan. He's stepping up and he's making moves to get to the next level, next rank, ladies and gentlemen, which is team leader. And I'm sure we're going to see that happen in the next couple of weeks with him, because, every leader in time excels. The leaders rise with the tide. The people who are committed, okay, to this business and successful are going to step it up. Another person made a request to do the presentation now. That's what we're talking about. Elevating yourself. You're going to have to be bad before you're good. Don't matter what. Remember this, when you're conveying the information about Synergy Worldwide, the new person that you're conveying the information don't know if you made a mistake or not unless you told them. Okay? So you got to remember that, you're going to be bad at it before you're good at it, but the prospect or the potential business partner do not know unless you reveal that information to them. Okay? So over repetition, continuous repetition, and consistent activity, you will get more competent. And with more competence, you'll get more confidence in delivering the information. The most important aspect of that is just beginning, start, take that step, make that commitment to show up, and then to take that step to walk forward and keep growing yourself. Okay, which is so important. So kudos to everyone who are stepping up. We're very, very proud of that. So this week we're gonna, see some things happen in the organization in terms of presentation. Plus, it's always important for people to hear different perspectives and point of view when it comes to the dissemination of the information of the opportunity. Okay, which is so important for us to understand. Okay, so thank you again. Now, let's talk about the ways of building this opportunity, because we have different ways of communicating the information here. We want to get into some of the powerful aspects of it, and we talked about leveraging third-party validation, which is utilizing someone other than yourself to convey the opportunity or the information on the products and so forth. And one of the best tools to leverage that is called a three-way call. Okay, now a three-way call don't just happen. It's something that you set up. It's something you're going to be practicing, and it's something you're going to be good at. Now, there's certain elements of staging a three-way call to convey this business or the products and so forth to other people. Okay, one is you have to understand the power of edification. Edification simply means building up an expectation. Okay, elevating. Okay, when we talk about edification, we mean when we're introducing an individual to an expert, you have to build up that person's importance and so forth. Okay, and then the other thing as a professional is to understand that you never ever compromise that edification that you built up. Okay, and then knowing when, having the discipline, okay, to follow instructions and follow suit, and also to remain a professional. So let's talk about that now in further detail. Okay, for those who have done three-way calls, you can know that it's a very simple thing, but it's also very technical, and it takes repetition to develop a skill. Okay, three-way call is utilized to leverage the relationship that you have with your prospect, because what happens is the person that you're talking to, there's a relationship. They may not necessarily respect your level of accomplishment or where you are with the business, okay, because they're looking at you at where you are right now, but they trust what you say about individuals that you're going to introduce them to. And it is a psychological aspect, and it's proven that more people respect a stranger. So what you do is you leverage the trust that you've built, with the initial conversation with your prospects, or even just the history that you have with them. And what you're doing is you're leveraging the fact that they trust you. And what you do now is you set the stage for them to receive the opportunity and the information from someone that you build up, someone that has notoriety, somebody that you have respect, okay, someone that you elevate so that they, okay, can pay close attention, because when people respect others, okay, they're going to listen without interjection. They're going to be keen because you have elevated. They believe that they're talking to someone of prominence and a high quality and caliber of a person, somebody who's accomplished and so forth. So that's why you do the edification, but also psychologically, you have to craft the edification within the 4 dominant personality types. And we broke those down into different behaviors. Sometimes we hear about colors. Sometimes we hear about people being pragmatic, phlegmatic, sanguine, and so forth. Okay, we're going to just break it up into a color code so that it's, because people are more easy to associate to color codes and so forth, but also talk about what triggers these personality types. Okay, so oftentimes they use the color red because red is a color that is instantaneous. It sparks something. It means stop. And also always associated with people who are the type A type personality, dominant. They're a matter of fact people. They get straight to the point, straight shooters. Oftentimes, they are more money motivated type people. And then also you hear they talk a color associated with people who are blue, meaning they're more like the ocean. They're more free spirited. They float all over. They love to have fun and enjoyment and so forth. If there's no fun and enjoyment in it, they don't want to be associated with that. And then we have what we call the green, that is associated with more analytical type people who want detailed information, facts. Give them, paperwork and documentation, research that they can read and so forth, and you're speaking their language. And then we have what you call the yellows, which are more people who, if it's not helping someone, saving the planet, or helping other people's quality of life and so forth, helping someone, period, then you're not speaking their language. Okay. So when you're doing the edification, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you do. You touch on the 4 personality types. Before you introduce an individual, know the 4. We always use these statements. Someone who is making a lot of money, okay, having a lot of fun to bring the social atmosphere in, okay, loves to help others, okay, and has 100% of the facts of the information. And that touches on qualities of the 4 different personality types, because sometimes you do not know which one is your prospect's dominant type. So you talk about these when you're edifying the expert. You use these key phrases so that you touch on something, okay, to grab their attention that they can associate to, or you're speaking to their language. For example, okay, we're going to use Mr. Greg Jacob, that when we're, that's on the call. He's been in this industry. He's well trained, coming through the ranks of other opportunities and so forth, and understand the power of that. So if I was introducing him, I would say to, let's say, for example, Mr. Jordan, if I'm going to introduce him to Greg, I would say, Stan. And the reason why, and here's another key component too. When you're talking about the expert, always use the proper salutation, such as Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, okay, before their name, because that's part of the edification of showing that you have respect and you're speaking to them, speaking of them from a perspective of respect and honor, and you're looking up to them, okay? And when you're talking to your prospects, talk to, try to talk to them more casual. So I would say, instead of calling Mr. Jordan, I'd say, Stan, Mr. Greg Jacob is somebody that I have a lot of respect for. In fact, he has very accomplished. He knows 100% of the facts, of the details of the information of this opportunity or of these products. He is doing so well. He's making good income, okay, to the levels that would impress you. He loves to help other people accomplish their goals and dreams. And he's a very fun spirit. As once you get to know him, you'll understand he's a very fun-loving person. And, that's why I want you to understand the caliber of people that we're working with. And if I can get Mr. Jacob on the phone, okay, I just want him to convey some information so you can hear the caliber and the quality of information of the people that we're working with. And just keep it that simple, okay? Knows 100% of the facts, making good income, okay, and associate it with your prospect that, say, hey, they're making very, very good money, okay, 6 figures or more, whatever appeals to that person in a little bit more dialogue. Or you just can say they're making a really good income, okay, they know 100% of the facts of the details of this opportunity and product, and you love to help people. And I am blessed and honored to be working with somebody of their caliber and expertise to assist me and also to convey this information to you. So hold on a second. And that's what you do when you're elevating that person in terms of what we call edification. And we touch on the personality traits. Okay, now let's talk about when you are preferably when you're doing the 3-way call, okay, you want to let the expert already be in position. Let them know you're about to do some calls and you're trying to get this person. Give them a little brief about the prospect that you're talking to, a little bit about the conversation, so they can prepare themselves, okay, to angle their conversation, okay, to speak to the prospect, okay. So, let's say in the scenario that I gave with Mr. Greg and Stan, Greg would have called me or probably messaged me and say, hey, I'm going to talk to such and such person. This is what they do for a living, or this is the conversation we talked about, and so forth, just to give me a little familiarity with the individual and say, hey, listen, I'm going to try and get them on the phone and call you right back. Because what you want to do is psychologically, you want to get the prospect first on the call, okay? Because what you want the prospect psychologically to feel is the importance of this individual, and not to make them feel extra special by getting them first on the line, okay? That's part of the psychology, because you're building this thing up, right? You're elevating your business, you're elevating the level of how your professionalism, and psychologically you do not want to give the prospect the advantage, because you want to make sure that you have their full attention and they're open and receptive to the expert that you're putting them on the phone with. So, you know, common practice is you get the prospect first, then dial in, okay, to do the three-way with the expert. Now, it doesn't always happen that time, but in a perfect scenario, that's what you attempt to do. The important thing is to get the three-way call done. So once you call in, and here is where sometimes we get caught up in the when you connect the three-way call, you know, sometimes a lot of us aren't familiar with doing them. Sometimes the connection, you know, you're trying to make sure this person is on the line and so forth. Always remember the salutation. Mr. Jordan, are you? Stan, are you on the line? Mr. Jacob, are you on the line? Oh, great. Stan, I am so excited to get Mr. Jacob on the line, because this is a gentleman I was telling you about. I'm honored to work with somebody of his caliber and expertise. I respect him because he is accomplished. You know, he knows 100% of the facts of the details of this opportunity and the products. He really enjoys helping people and assisting others, okay, and loves to have fun, as you can tell by his personality when you get to know him. And, you know, just a fun-loving person, okay? And you do that part and then say, Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jacob, I want to introduce you to Stan Jordan. He's interested in hearing more information from you about Synergy Worldwide or about these products. And once you do that, hand over the phone call to the so-called expert, you stay quiet. Preferably mute your phone, okay? Because what the expert is going to do is just share brief information about the product. There's an intent about that, is to create some dialogue, share information about the product and the opportunity, which will in turn lead them, okay, to invite this individual to look at more detailed information, probably through a meeting, through a conference call, or maybe even a sit-down meeting, so that candidate can make a qualified decision on the opportunity and the product. Okay, that's what the intent of this call is. Okay, once I know there are times there's certain specific information you want to convey to the prospect, and sometimes the expert don't get it and so forth, but never ever interject, because what happens is you erode the edification and the prominence that you just spent time building up. You just eroded that, okay, in the mind of the prospect psychologically, okay? Remember, they do not know, okay? Even though you may share some information, they do not know, okay, that there's missteps or any lack of information, because they're talking to the so-called expert. And then allow them to ask it through the dialogue, you know, the information, because sometimes the expert will say, hey, is there anything else I can answer for you, or do you have any questions, or so forth, okay, for inviting them. So allow that. Do not say anything. What will happen is the expert will in turn edify you, okay? So you know, what I would do is say, hey, Mr. Jacob, or Mr. Jacob would say, you know, to myself, or yeah, Stan is the prospect, excuse me. You would say to Stan, you know, Stan, I have a lot of respect for O'Neill. he's doing fantastic with this opportunity. He sees it, and because of that, he's making some wonderful moves and impacting the lives of people. And if I were you, I'd stay close to him because he's elevating himself and helping us capture the market share. And he's somebody that I respect and is dearly, sincerely committed to working with. So, you know, if I were you, I would definitely pay attention to what Mr. Jordan is telling you. And what it does is it's an equal exchange. The prospect now will look, okay, to you to as somebody that is doing someone. If somebody of prominence says that about you, then you got their attention a little bit more. And that's the professional way. And once that call is over, okay, and you take back over and the exchange is done, the expert then will exit the line. You try to close that conversation, and then you further build it up and say, hey, what, isn't that fantastic? Isn't he, you know, Mr. Jacob, a fantastic individual? You see what I'm talking about? I'm just so excited to be working with him. So let me confirm. He says you're going to join on this call. I'll make sure you get this information at such and such time and ensure that you're going to be there, right? You know, are you sure you're going to be able to, is that time, make it, because, you know, I don't want to waste Mr. Jacob's time, because as you can see, he's very busy, very important, somebody that I respect working with, and I don't want to ruin it for myself. Okay, so make sure that if you say you're going to do this, you'll be there. Is that good? And you just do that. Okay, and that's how you effectively do a proper three-way call, ladies and gentlemen. One, elevate the expert. Okay, remain quiet through the conversation, expertly do the introduction, then take yourself out and allow the expert to convey information, to do the invite, okay, to more information and probably to a decision or something. And then allow the expert to edify you. And then once you take it over, you thank them and then reiterate, re-summarize, okay, and further reestablish the fact that you just talked to somebody of importance and you're going to look over this information, or you're going to join this call at such and such. Make sure, because this is somebody who taken their time to work with me, that I have a lot of respect for, and I don't want to ruin it for myself. And what happens is 80% of the time people show up to events, people show up to calls, people show up for meetings, okay, people read information because of the edification process and the three-way call. And that's why we utilize the three-way call so much, because it's such a powerful tool, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do right now is, for further questions, I'm going to open up the lines so people can ask question and answer, so you guys can develop your skill and be more competent and skillful at three-way call to make sure your questions are answered. So can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So Mr. Jacob, you're on the call.
Yeah, I'm on the call.
Great, great, great. You know, I wanted you to share with people, you know, the importance of this three-way call, because as we're going through the numbers and so forth, and we talk about edification and the proper introduction and exchange and dissemination of information, you know, can you elaborate, you know, on your your experience, how important the three-way calls was for you when you were building your business?
Yeah, I had to learn the hard way, because I was talking to people and was trying to close them myself, and it didn't work, and I was getting frustrated. So my upline was like, Greg, you got to, these people that you know, they don't really respect your decision as a business decision maker. You know, they've been doing you all your life, but they don't know me. You know, so you're gonna have to practice on doing three-way calls and edification. So once I understood how that worked, you know, you like you said, you know, you're gonna be bad before you're good, good before you're great at any endeavor. So once I started doing that on a regular basis, you know, I got pretty comfortable with it. And basically what I told my prospect that, you know, I had an upline I think it was Dorothy, Mr. Houston, Mr. Houston. You know, she's a very experienced, and she knows 100% of the information. She's helping a lot of people around the world. You know, she's in a position to make a ton of money, and also she loves to help people. So what I want to do right now is put this Dorothy Houston online because I'm new. That's how I started off, because I was new. I put that in. So they was like, oh, okay. So that's how I would set it up. And it took the pressure off of me. And also I was learning at the same time. So I was getting more and more people to the meet. You know, they were, showing up. I was like, oh, okay, that does work. You know, not all the time these people would show up, but your chances are greater, if you do three-way calls.
Fantastic. I'll share another secret too that people do not know. You know, even my upline conduct three-way calls with me and have me edify me as an expert, because the prospect doesn't know what they know, right? So
correct. Right.
He knows because the relationship that they have between themselves. Sometimes he calls me to do a three-way for him, and elevate me, and it shows up, and he gets more people signed up, more people looking at the business. So what we have to understand is we're leveraging other people, and we're utilizing the psychological tool that is available to us to take the pressure off of us trying to close people ourselves.
Correct.
So thank you again for that, for your comments and so forth. As we're moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, that's why it's so important to be bad before you're good at it, and practice. Listen to this recording, okay? Listen to it very, very cleanly with some of the things that I've said, and start practice. Practice becomes perfect. The saying says you're going to be bad before you're good, good before you're great, great before you're outstanding. You'll make a lot of money in the process of going from bad to good, because it means you're having activity, and that's the most important aspect of this. Okay, the beautiful thing about the business that we're in, you earn while you learn. It's part of the process. So want to thank you again, Greg. And Mr. Jordan has been doing a lot of three-way calls, and he can tell you from his own experience, because he's gone through the numbers himself, trying to do it himself, and then he started to do the three-way call. So, Mr. Jordan, how has the three-way calls helped you in terms of building your synergy business?
Hi, Mr. Catnell. Tremendously. And I'm not going back to my old ways. If you stump your toe on something too many times, you're going to remember it. And I've stumped my toe enough, and I'm done with it. So it's going to be three-way calls from now on.
And what have you noticed since you've been really focused on these three-way calls?
A couple of things. It's going to become a habit, and I'm aggressively picking up my pace with trying to do more a day. Because it's to become fun now, and it gets me out of the way. It gets me out of the way, and I got an expert.
Great.
To take that weight off of me, which is very important to me.
Great.
So all I got to do is just put people on the phone, do the three-way, let the expert do it.
Great. Now, for those who are on the call, I'm going to give out my phone number, okay? And so you guys can call me, and we can set up doing three-way calls with you, and I'll coach you through it, because it's so important to get started, okay? It doesn't matter if you mess up. The important thing is we get started. So O'Neal Catnell's number is 904-469-1722. Again, area code 904-469-1722. 904-469-1722. And let's set up some appointments and help coach you through this part of the process, so you guys can be bad before you're good, Okay, but during this process, earn and see the power of leveraging it. And you're going to say the same thing like these gentlemen, you know, why haven't I been doing this sooner? Because it takes the pressure off of you, and you're going to see how effective it is. And that's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. The market share is available to us for United States, Canada, the Caribbean, and so forth. Let's develop ourselves. Let's become competent and confident to capture the market share that we're entitled to. You are entitled to be successful in this business. You're entitled for growth. You're entitled to earn the income. You're entitled for better health because you made a choice to position yourself at the top. Okay? Remember, actively in the United States, we're just about approaching 3,000 active members. Okay, so it is so powerful. In the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to have probably close to 1 million people. Okay, but those volume of business has to go down through the lines that is already established, and that's where you guys are here. So let's develop the skill. And how many of us want that volume of business? Because it's coming to flow through your line. But remember, you're going to have to what? Transcend yourself to receive the benefits that's available to you. Okay, you have to transcend yourself. You have to transcend yourself and develop the skill, okay, to receive it that was entitled to you. Okay, you got to grow into that individual, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. Okay, it's one thing to take the step and be in position. The other thing is you have to be qualified to receive your goals and dreams. Your goals and dreams are given to you, but you have to develop yourself into that person to earn it, okay, to receive it. You have to develop it. Remember, you know, having $1,000 mentality don't mean you can earn $100,000, okay? You have to develop yourself into that $100,000 mentality and psyche and activity. And that's what this means, ladies and gentlemen. If you had the power to dream it, to desire it, you have the skill to develop yourself into that person to receive it. But you have to work on you, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's a journey. That's why it's a process of building a business. That's why it's a process of you elevating and transcending yourself, okay, to receive that which you are entitled to. And each one of us are entitled to the market share that is available to us through Synergy Worldwide. But we have to grow through into it. We have to develop the skill. We have to build ourselves up into that leadership that is responsible for the business that is conveyed to us. Okay? Remember, the marketplace, the law of value states that the marketplace, it will reward you for the level of value that you bring to the marketplace. The marketplace will reward you for the level of value that you bring to the marketplace. And what is value? Your skill in building the business, your skill in developing other people, your skill in conveying this information, in teaching others, and so forth, ladies and gentlemen. You will be handsomely rewarded. It's equally rationed out, okay, to the level of skill that you bring to the marketplace. Remember that. So that's why it's so important for calls like this. You grow into that individual and, you know, be a part of something successful. You know, you are here at the table. Now you got to learn to use your knife and fork and your spoon, okay, to eat at the table. That's the skill, okay? So want to thank you guys for being on the call. We're going to send out this recording so everyone can have it. Along with that recording, we're going to also send out an example of a three-way call so you guys will have that, okay? Please give me a call for those who haven't done so yet to set up appointments. Remember, we have opportunity call this Tuesday, okay, where you get a complete business overview of the opportunity and the products of Synergy Worldwide and the legacy team and the opportunity that is available to us. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday evening, every Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen, and every Sunday we do team call. Okay, next Sunday, we're going to talk about meeting etiquette when you're in a room, when you're talking with others, when you bring a guest to a presentation, the etiquette. There's also professional etiquette there to effectively transition people in becoming customers and business partners when you're in a meeting environment. So we'll go over that in detail. Okay, so looking forward to that. We want to thank each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Sunday evening. Thank you for your participation. God bless and good night. Good night to everyone. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Appreciate it.
You too. Bye-bye.
Everyone.